Right, so I hate doing things alone.
I don't mean like going to the supermarket or going for a walk after work. I mean on my day off, if it's between going somewhere by myself or staying at home, it's staying at home every single time.
But if you're watching this, you probably hate it too. And it's all going to change. I'm going to make it change. And you can make a change too if you really want to. So Ireland went through like pretty severe lockdown restrictions. We had like a 2-kilometre lockdown, then it went to like 5 kilometres, then I think it was 10 or 15 and then 20. And this kind of went on for like 2 years. So when lockdown restrictions eased completely, I was like, right, this is it. I'm going to start doing loads of stuff again. I'm going to get back out there, have good time, start living my life. And then it all came crashing down because I realised Owen, my boyfriend, and my friends didn't have the same days off as me. So on my day off, if I wanted to go somewhere, it would have to be alone. And I wasn't for that idea. And even though lockdown was over, I could see everyone else living their lives, having a fucking ball on social media. And I was still sitting in my house. Like, it was like I was still in lockdown. So one day it just got too much. I was like, right, I've had enough. I just need to work on this and get the fuck over my fear of doing things alone. And that is exactly what we're going to talk about today.
So yeah, I mean, I feel shit that every time I come on here I have no makeup on and I look terrible. So the first thing we're going to do is...
So early on that day I realised if I was going to leave the house, I wanted like the most confidence I could have leaving the house. And I realised because I was like feeling really shitty about myself during COVID, my acne was really bad because of the stress, I was like, the first thing I'm going to do is put on makeup.
And we need to feel our best. I mean, I don't think I look my best, but I definitely look better than I did in the last clip.
Because I'm going to feel self-conscious about my acne. And if there's one little thing you can do by putting on makeup to make yourself feel better, then do it. And that's exactly what I did.
I just got ready and I had some food and now I'm like sitting around having time to think and I'm like, you know what, maybe I won't go anywhere. Maybe I'll just sit on the couch and watch Netflix. And that's exactly what we don't want to happen. So just don't even let yourself think about it. I'm just going to get in the car now and go somewhere.
Tip number 1 is to just not overthink it and don't give yourself time to think. Because as I was getting ready, I was thinking to myself, right, like, yeah, this is going to be fine, but I'd just as much enjoy myself, if not more, if I was here watching a movie on Netflix. Now, would I enjoy it more or would I just feel more comfortable? But instead of like thinking about it, I was like, no, put that out of your head. This is one day we're going to do something that makes you uncomfortable. So Netflix doesn't matter today. I'm just going to go do it. I was literally in the house there and I was like, no, not going to go. I'm just going to sit at home and watch Ugly Betty. And then I was like, you know what? Just stop thinking about it. I think a good way to like think about it is if I'm really miserable, I can just come home. I don't have to stay anywhere if I don't want to. Doing baby steps, I think, is a really good one to start with. So I'm going to go to the beach because I love going to the beach, but I just never go by myself. And I only live like 15 to 20 minutes away from the beach. So I'm going to go to the beach for a walk. I mean, that sounds really simple. Why doesn't it feel simple? And then also one of the tips was to like distract yourself if you need to. So a good way around that is I've brought like my phone gimbal so that I can get some clips and maybe take a reel for Instagram. So I mean, I think I'm gonna nail it.
Take me down to the waterside, let me drown in your blue-green eyes.
Because I have really bad anxiety, I talked about this with a therapist, and like her first question was why? Which sounds so simple. Why don't you want to do things alone? But I could not give it like a proper answer because I didn't actually really know. Now, the one reason I did give, which is 100% true, but it's that I like sharing my experiences with people. So like I love seeing amazing, beautiful places in Ireland. I mean, I literally have an Instagram account dedicated to that. But when I look back at my memories from those trips, it's not necessarily the places I've been, but it's the people I was with and the memories I have with them of the trip. Like if I ever went to the Grand Canyon alone, instead of appreciating that like incredible view, I actually think I'd feel really sad because I was there alone and I'd no one to turn to. and like, enjoy that with. So that was the reason I gave her, and it's true. But there's definitely more I've realised, because that alone wouldn't be enough reason not to go places alone.
I look a little bit worse for wear. I don't know why I put on makeup this morning, because the ocean breeze just blew it all off. Like, look at my eyes. It was bloody windy, but that water is blue. I literally look like I've been pulled through a hedge backwards. But yeah, it was really nice. It was definitely nice to get out for a walk in the fresh air by the beach. Like, I just never would normally do this, so it was definitely nice to do it. I did feel a bit uncomfortable though, but I suppose we'll talk about that later in the video. I could just smell the seaweed, and there was like seagulls around. It was just lovely. So yeah, that was so nice. Part of me still like, yeah, but if I hadn't gone, I would have just probably enjoyed myself watching Netflix. So then maybe I just shouldn't think that way. But it was nice to go. Definitely would have enjoyed it more if I was with someone else. But yeah, I feel positive now, but again, I think it's just because like I did something I said I was going to do, so I feel almost like I've been productive. I have this real trouble with always feeling like I have to be productive. Back to the tunes. Don't like my personality right now. Like, I really don't enjoy my own company. And I think that's mainly because I do suffer from an anxiety and panic disorder. So when I'm by myself, my mind is very negative and it thinks about all these like catastrophic things that could happen. Whereas when I'm with someone else, I'm enjoying myself. So that like anxiety voice isn't that prominent.
After 2 years of COVID, my thought process was not normal, it was not healthy, and it was not enjoyable to live with. So the thoughts of like being somewhere by myself with no distractions, like why would I want that? Like, my favourite thing to do at this time was just watch Netflix like 24/7 or play computer games. And one of the reasons was because when I did that, my mind was silent because I was completely like distracted by what I was doing. So again, another reason why I didn't want to go places alone was because it wasn't enjoyable to be alone in my own company. Now, if you asked me before, do I feel like unsafe going places alone? I would have said no. Like, I genuinely didn't think that was an issue for me until this day. Because when I was deciding what to do, again, I was trying to be really conscious of my thoughts. And my main concern was,
you know what, like what if I meet some like weirdo on a trail
and they attack me and there's no one there to help? Like, that was a genuine thought that went through my head. I could die, I could be attacked, something terrible could happen to me. Now before, obviously I had those thoughts, but I just wasn't actively like aware of what I was thinking about. Like, I wasn't being mindful of those thoughts. But it really hit me that day. I was like, shit, yeah, I'm really afraid to go places by myself, like as a woman, alone. And the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. Because as I looked back, I realised from a very young age, I was definitely taught that. Like, when I was really small, my mum would say, like, don't go places alone, you'll get kidnapped. Like, don't wander too far in the supermarket, you'll get taken away by a scary man. Like, or as I got older and I'd leave in the house, it was, don't wear a skirt too short, don't walk down the road alone, don't walk down any alleyways, don't speak to anyone you don't know. So I feel like I definitely, as I grew up, I associated leaving the house alone, especially as a woman, as dangerous. Now, I'm not saying it's my mum's fault. She'll probably watch this and be like, you're blaming me for your issues. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that obviously where other people mightn't have taken it that seriously, I obviously clung on to that very strongly, and I still do today. And I obviously feel completely safe when I'm with someone else. So in my head, it's easier to go with someone else because I enjoy it more because I get to share it with them, but also I'm safer when I'm with someone else. And finally, my panic disorder is also a huge reason why I hate going places alone, because I have quite bad panic attacks. And about this time, I was having regular bad panic attacks. And my biggest fear was having one of those panic attacks while I was alone, somewhere far from my house. Because for a lot of us, our home is like our safe place. And being anywhere else, I already felt unsafe and uncomfortable. And again, I noticed my thought process that day was, what if I have a panic attack here? What if it's really bad and I faint and I'm by myself? What if it's really bad and I collapse? What if it's really bad and I have a heart attack and there's no one with me to call an ambulance? Like, they were the catastrophic thoughts that were going through my head that day. So really, it's no wonder that I don't want to go places by myself, because actually, even if I manage to enjoy myself a bit, there's so much extra stress is added on that it just becomes really unenjoyable. See, when I got back from the beach, I actually had a really nice time, but it wasn't without those issues that I've like listed through. So I actually began to feel quite deflated.
I thought that was going to be helpful, but I actually don't think that's helpful at all, because I can't think of any ways around those things. Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. I feel like I'm not going to feel any different after this video. Like, yeah, it was nice to go to the beach and all, but like, it wasn't like better to go with myself or anything.
But now I'm a year on, and looking back, I realised that, yeah, that was the first time I did it. And the more you do things alone, it's like exposure therapy. You do eventually start to feel better about it. So I'm glad I made the step that day, because I definitely feel like I'm so much further along now. And that information I learned was actually helpful. At the time I didn't think so, but it absolutely is, because even the safety one, yeah, I felt really unsafe at the thoughts of going out on a hike. But now that I know that, if I want to do something alone, I can do it in a more safe place. So I can go to the cinema alone because there's people around, or I could go shopping in the city centre. But then some of the reasons you do just have to accept. Like with the panic attack one, I think I've just got to a point now where if I am going somewhere alone, not that I do that much alone still, I'm like, right, I might have a panic attack. But you know what? I've never had a heart attack yet. So chances are that's probably not going to happen. I hope. So again, it's not the end of the world. I think you really have to put these things into perspective. I encourage you to go do something outside your own comfort zone and really think about what you feel that day and write it down afterwards. And if it doesn't help you that day, that's fine. Come back to it in a week or two or a month down the line. But yeah, I'm determined to keep doing stuff alone and keep getting better, keep broadening that comfort zone. And you absolutely can too. You just have to want to enough. Like a lot of things, you just have to want it. So yeah, that's about all I have to say today. Hope this helped even a little bit. If it did, then like the video and subscribe. But actually do subscribe if you want to keep up with this, because I am definitely going to do more videos like this in the future. So if you want to see that, you know what to do. But anyway, that's it. Chat to you after.